Back with more Titans. This is episode 6 of season 3. Very excited as always to carry on, so it's going to be happening next. Already we're getting quite close to the halfway point of the season, which is nuts. But last episode was the big kind of reveal about how Jason became the Red Hood, what got him to that place, Scarecrow's involvement in it all. So we kind of have all the groundwork there laid out now, all the flashbacks for that filled in. So yeah, I'm excited to see what we focus on next. I'm imagining we're just going to be back mainly in the present day again, continuing on with all the other shenanigans that Red Hood and Scarecrow are currently getting up to. But who knows? They might choose to focus on different ones, or is this going to be the week where we see Rachel again? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, I suppose. But I'm excited to find out, and I'm really enjoying this season, so let's just jump right into the next one. Hey, it's the Seelie Queen from Shadowhunters.
Phil.
One of them. Are you not a fan of love or something? Oh no, you two are dead, aren't you? Oh. Well.
Drop your knife. Drop your knife.
In a way, that's dropping it. Happy anniversary, guys.
I see you've prepared a welcome gift. Have him washed immediately and return to my chamber.
Oh my.
I can attend to your needs. Is not what she's talking about.
Oh god.
You don't do that.
Bless him.
Connor?
Oh, more flashbacks. Oh damn. He's in his contract that he can't go a whole season without the Robin costume. Oh.
Barbara?
Security here is a joke.
Oh, he must be young. He wears a cap backwards.
I might even take after my dad one day. Who knows?
I know.
Sounds so bad.
I want to do good in the world. Actual good. All he
By
ever does is
stealing? Like they're just casually committing crimes, and then she's the commissioner 6 years later. Oh, here we go. Getting close.
What did I do?
Oh. Oh, okay. So was that 6 years ago, or was that a dream of 6 years ago? I'm guessing up to that bit. But he's dreaming about Barbara. Interesting. And I just dropped my pen.
Going out on your own, getting shot, it's not okay.
You are a team now.
This family is dying and you go out alone and get yourself shot?
Oh. Oh boy.
Take 10.
I mean, you were also angry. But I suppose he transforms into a tiger, so...
Nice throw.
And I say let's go and fuck up Dick.
Excuse me? Oh, she's working with Scarecrow. Yeah, you got her.
If you are unhappy, there are others who are more than willing to take up the cause. Comprende?
Oh.
This is a disgrace. We are queens.
24 hours ago, you were a prisoner. I think this is a major step up. And if I catch even a whisper of a scheme out of your mouth, I will drop you down the hole I found you in.
Ah.
Are we clear?
Blackfire. Pleasure's yours.
Yes.
I do quite like her self-confidence.
Bruce got shot all the time. Didn't stop him.
Look how well that went.
I was going to say,
I guess
maybe you should have taken 5 a few times.
The tiny green one isn't your manservant. Clearly, he satisfies your urges.
Well, he certainly did once upon a time.
You and Barbara? Fix it.
It's a smart move, I think. And you have been having kissy-kissy flashbacks, so...
You hurt?
A little.
Good.
Well.
I get it. Same team.
Good.
Don't say it.
Oracle.
Is that what this routine's all been about?
This is Red Hood and Scarecrow.
We can use Oracle's voice recognition to tap into Gotham's phone.
Yes!
Oracle has been mothballed for a reason. You really want to help? Go home.
Okay.
It's not working together, but... something? Maybe? I don't know.
Why?
It's a shortwave positron multiplier.
Which is what?
I don't know, but it sounds super impressive.
Maybe you're more comfortable taking orders from others rather than taking the initiative yourself.
Corey.
Is that to do with her episodes at the start of the season? To do with this? Does Blackfire still have an influence? Or is she just pissed off?
What are you even doing with me?
I have no fucking idea. Blackfire. I can't leave
Me
you
going
alone.
about my life.
I thought your idea was good. About getting intel from the people on the street.
Why are you sitting next to me?
I could use the company.
I can see the strength of Krypton running in your blood. And something else.
The bald man.
It wasn't power I coveted. It was acceptance.
The Titans took me in. Maybe they could take you in too.
Maybe.
We're family. We care for each other, and when they're happy, I'm happy.
He's so
Even
wholesome.
my sister.
Yeah, even Corey.
Same bomb used on Hank. Connor!
Oh shit.
31 beats, what do we do?
Make a deactivator. No one's gonna die this time.
Aw, but now he already knows what to do. Sure, that will help, won't it?
Done.
Aw.
Kids with RP.
They left Blackfire on her own.
Multiply most any chemical compound.
I'm not the mastermind. Fuck! Fuck, get in the car!
Who could have predicted that?
I just don't understand. Why do you go bad? We had a tough life. That's what Bruce looked for. Someone with anger. Someone he can make into a weapon. But
Yeah.
Crane's manipulating him.
You two need to watch the last episode,
I
really.
have to believe that this dude... Barbara. It's me.
Bruce.
Oh!
I'll be where it all started.
I like that it was like a red phone. Like a connection between the Commissioner and Batman. That's nice. Oh, this is a fun little activity, isn't it?
12 feet northeast of the surgeon. Good work. Our killer's between 5'6".
That's clever, like working out what her moves were.
Using a 16-inch wakizashi.
How did these two run into the woman like 6 years ago then?
I think we make sense.
You think we make sense?
Yeah.
That's what every girl wants to hear.
Yeah, romantic.
Run the numbers and I'll swim. I'll be taking that.
Oh, oh, that's unlucky.
Come on, we need to go.
It's almost as if doing crimes for no reason is a terrible idea. Ah. Yeah, she was wearing all that stuff, wasn't she, in the present day?
Bruce!
Barbara. It's me.
Where are you?
Oh, is it a trap?
Started. I'm Barbara.
This was worth the wait.
This was worth the wait. Apples and pears. I like she can hold her own like that.
You don't think Blackfire's actually killed people, do you?
I don't know.
Trying to be back here. Yeah.
Of course she does. There is one unhappy mobster. That's our lead. See? Talk to those who don't belong, and they'll tell you everything.
Connor, give us the room.
Face it. In order for you to be the good sister, I have to be the bad one. You're not mad that I left.
I don't think she was forcing you to be the
You're
bad
mad
one.
I came back.
Just let me quickly check her apartment.
Yeah.
That is sensible. I mean, I don't think her power's out. Surely you can just turn the lights on. It's okay.
I should probably go.
Right.
It's late.
It is.
Yeah, that's going to be rekindled, isn't it?
No fear, no limits. Fuck you, Crane.
Oh dear.
Girls' parents are out of town. I'll be there in a second.
Oh no. Fuck! Oh shit!
Call 911.
Now look what you've done, Jason. Now he doesn't care about it. Okay, another very good episode. Lots to kind of unpack, I think. There was quite a few things going on. Sometimes just little things, like obviously the end scene with Tim and his family. It's cool to revisit that and bring him back. So I don't think he's been in it since the premiere, I think. So we're seeing him start his journey, I would assume, to interact with the team a lot more and ultimately become Robin. Whether that happens this season or a future season or not, I don't know. But clearly this is a big event that's going to bring him properly into the action, so I'm excited about that. And yeah, Lady Vic is the villain of the piece. Admittedly, I haven't heard of Lady Vic. I had to do a bit of research just after this episode, just to kind of get a sense of what they're about, Nightwing villain, stuff like that. So that was cool that they bring in, again, they do that a lot, I think, Titans, and I do appreciate that. Sometimes they often use lesser known like side villains, even, for like a throwaway scene, I think it was Glimmer was the name of the villain in it last season. She's in like one scene, got captured, that was that. But it's just some of the more obscure characters, I guess, that you don't see much represented in like live action stuff. So I like that they continue to do that. And I feel like it was a cool introduction to her. I like the actress Kimberly Sue Murray anyway. I liked her in Shadowhunters. So it's cool to see a new threat that ties into Scarecrow, but also ties into Dick and Barbara's history, which is obviously a big part of the episode, was the flashbacks surrounding them. They were kind of a big focus of the episode for sure. And I guess there's more to her. There's a simple revenge kind of thing to it, because I'm assuming she's very much blaming those two for the death of her friend / boyfriend. I don't know who the other guy was that she was like robbing the bank with, or the bank? It wasn't a bank, was it? Museum or something, in the flashbacks. So there's a personal connection to that as well. Then on the wider scheme of things, she's also working with Scarecrow. It's exactly like where her motivations really lie. How much of it is personal, how much of it is professional. Maybe that's going to be something that they explore. But clearly the story's not done with her, so I'm excited to see a bit more of what she's about, because all the knives and stuff, pretty damn cool. So it's a different kind of villain, I suppose, and it forces different kinds of fighting styles and choreography, which is really fun. And I loved the scene where Dick and Gar were like listening to the audio of her attack, and trying to work out, what weapons she was using, how tall she was, what hand she used. I thought that was really clever and really interesting. I liked that a lot. That kind of ties into the whole Batman, world's greatest detective kind of thing. So you can see what Dick's kind of picked up from Bruce over the years with techniques like that. I thought that was really cool. And just a dynamic between Dick and Gar, I really love. I think it goes quite underappreciated, because we don't get that much of them a lot, but when we do, I think it's a really cool, fun pairing. Because there's a great deal of concern there, and that's one of the things I love about Gar, and this episode highlighted it. Just that ultimate fear that he does have for the people he cares about. The moment when he started like transforming and going green for a bit, so he was just mad that Dick was putting himself in danger and getting the team involved in that. So that was really cool. I love that side to him. Again, he didn't have like a whole bunch to do in this episode, so I'm hoping we get like a big Gar episode at some point this season. But just little moments like that I do also really appreciate, and him talking to Dick about Jason, and could they even go as far as to kill him. Maybe Jason's been a bit misguided along the way, and I feel like we've got some hints to that in this one. I feel like there is more to it, particularly the last scene again. There seemed to be some regret in Jason there about what he was doing. Then he took that stuff again, the drug, and then completely emotionless again. So I do think it's just, he was brought back. He was still Jason, and he still had that kind of moral compass, I guess, in his conscience. But whatever Crane put in that new formula thing that he gave him just takes all that away, and maybe he's like become addicted and reliant to it. So that's what's causing him to act the way he is. I feel like that is the route they're taking with it. It's more so Scarecrow's influence than just Jason's bad now. So there's the morally grey thing with that, I suppose. And the fact that Jason also just went against Crane in this one and just handed out the drug to people in the streets. Not only in the plot-wise, it has a huge impact because that indirectly led to, well, directly led, I suppose, to what happened to Tim and his family and his dad, I think it was, who got shot. I don't know if he was dead or if he's just injured, I'm not sure, but either way it's going to be a big deal. But it has that going on for it. But it also showed that maybe Jason just needs to be the man in charge and he's not very good at taking orders, for better or worse, and he's always been that way, you know. He did rub people the wrong way, I guess, in Titans, because he wouldn't always take orders, he'd go off on his own, and that's what got him killed in the premiere. So to see that same thing happening again with him is quite something. And to see Scarecrow just back on his bullshit that he was on before he got incarcerated, so he's still just trying to reclaim the city and show them blah 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 blah. And employing like people like Lady Vic into his calls, I think is quite interesting. And the fact that Jason's now expendable to him, like all that effort you put in to bring him back, just to make him expendable, I think that was kind of one of the big pushes that really pissed Jason off. He's like, you know what, screw you, I'm sending all this drug out to people now. So exactly how that dynamic's going to shift and change, we'll have to wait and see. I feel like that could lead to a bit of a separation between that partnership. Jason going off on his own, maybe coming to his senses a bit more if he doesn't have access to the drug. Although he probably does have the skills to make it himself, doesn't he, now, really? But I don't think he knows the new special dose that Crane did make after he died, so maybe there isn't, you know, maybe that's not exactly how it's going to play out. But there's going to be a shift to that dynamic, I guess, once Crane realises what Jason's done. So the fact that he's also kind of broken away from that, it's just Jason doesn't really have a place in the world. He doesn't have a sense of where he belongs. And they also had that going on with Blackfire and Connor in this episode, and what those two were talking about, the fact they were felt torn between who they are, who they should be, where they're from. Connor being a mix of Superman and Lex Luthor. Blackfire being stuck on Earth right now, but from, you know, a different planet altogether, and on that planet she didn't have the fire that quite literally the fire that her family had. She felt lesser, she felt neglected in that sense. Maybe she played at the part of the bad sister just because it was easier. So there's a lot of interesting stuff with that and the dynamic between those two. I don't know if something's gonna happen between Connor and Blackfire, like romantic styles. I don't know how I'd feel about that, but she was giving him an awful lot of looks when he was like walking out rooms and stuff. So I was like, ooh. So we'll see if that's going to be a thing or not. But either way, maybe there is at least potential for like a nice friendship to be formed there. But also, she probably would just turn and stab him in the back first chance she gets if she needs to. If she gets something out of it, I think she'll probably just betray anyone. So keeping us on her toes with Blackfire. But I liked the energy she was kind of bringing to the team and like actually helping them out, actually getting them some answers. And just the absolute self-confidence she has in herself and her abilities. And when she was introducing herself to Dick, she was like, yeah, the pleasure's yours. I quite like that side to her. It was a bit humorous in a way. So I'm interested to see how that develops or gets worse as the season progresses. So I liked her being brought into the fold as well and having things to do. I don't know if she's going to properly join the Titans or if she will still just be evil. Could go either way, but I quite like that unpredictability when it comes to Blackfire and what she's about. But, you know, of her own accord, she did go and help out with, you know, their problems in this episode, so maybe there'll be more to it and she actually will be good. So we'll see. But I liked her inclusion as well. Corey taking none of her bullshit, or none of Dick's either. You know, she called him out when he went off and got himself shot, just reminding how worried they all were for him and trying not to push him too far because that's what led Bruce down the spiral he ended up going down. So I like that they're really showcasing that this is a family unit now. They are all in this together. they are one group of Titans. They're not at each other's throats every 5 seconds. They can disagree, obviously, and they had fights in this one. But at the end of the day, this season I think has already done such a much better job of showcasing how together these are as a group, and that they are the Titans, they are a family. Connor was even giving a whole speech about that to Blackfire. So I really like that they're getting that across as well. And yeah, the ending with Tim is going to set up some interesting stuff, so I'm excited to see what they do with that and to properly get to know this iteration of Tim Drake, because, you know, it's been very brief mentions of him, really. He found out Robin died, and I don't think we've seen him since, so exactly what this tragedy or big event for him and his family is going to do to him, how that leads him probably into the main bulk of the action with the Titans, becoming Robin stuff, that's going to be really cool to see. So excited for that as well. That was a nice way of ending off the episode, to say, well, we're nearing the halfway point-ish, now we're laying all the cards out on the table for this season, let's go. And I feel like that's kind of what that was. It was a statement of intent, that end scene with Tim, and it's time to focus on him as well. So I'm excited for that. Still no Rachel and Donna, etc. I don't know when that storyline's going to come back into it. It will before the end of the season, that's all I really know. But there is, I think, it doesn't feel like, oh, this storyline is not going anywhere, it's just filler or anything. So it's not like, oh, they could cut this storyline out and we could get more Rachel earlier on in the season. I don't think that's the case. So I'm happy to wait for her to show up, as long as she gets some good stuff when she finally does. Because I'm liking all the storylines they do have going on right now anyway. So yeah, will that change? I don't know, but either way, it's exciting. Just kind of the anticipation of waiting for her to show up. Because things do feel quite separate right now from the whole Themyscira stuff. So how that's all going to tie in together by the end of the season, I am really intrigued to see how they're going to handle that. So that should be fun. But yeah, I think actually the core of the episode was Dick and Barbara's relationship, them trying to patch things up in present day, seeing flashbacks to how it was like, you know, when they first kind of got all romantic styles. The fact that Dick is having dreams and thinking about that in present day. They can't seem to quite stay away from each other in the present day scenes as well. I think they're clearly building up to like some kind of romance being rekindled there, which I'm happy to see them explore that. As much as I am rooting for Dick and Corey in this show, I think that is where things will ultimately end up by the end. Not of this season, I don't think, but by the end of the show in general. I think that's where they'll head, and probably should head. I am still a huge fan of the Dick and Barbara relationship. I kind of grew up on that pairing, so I'm also happy to see them explore that in terms of the Titans kind of thing. I think, the chemistry there is really good. I really like this iteration of Barbara Gordon. I think Savannah, who plays her, is doing such a great job. And I liked seeing the stark contrast of how she was 6 years ago to how she is now, just going around stealing shit. I know she explained the point behind why she was going around stealing stuff and doing crimes and all that. Then dragging Dick into it, and it did feel a bit like, what's the point of that? Other than just to give us flashbacks to their relationship, to contextualise, that potential growing attraction between them again. I don't know. I feel like maybe they could have handled that a bit differently, but it's probably so that they could ultimately run into Lady Vic and the other guy who dies to create that history between them, so Dick then knows in present day who they're dealing with when he works it out. But I do think that side of it was a bit like, okay, I think they tried to justify it. I don't know if they succeeded. For me personally, it felt a bit strange that they just go around stealing stuff and being like, we own these now, I guess, let's make out. But regardless, that's clearly going to be some reflection of this is where the relationship used to be, this is how it is now. Could it get back to that? Is that going to be something that they negotiate? I think it probably is. That lingering scene near the end where Dick clearly did not want to leave the apartment, and he was just like, well, I guess I'll go. So there'll be more to explore there, and I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do with it, for sure. So that should be interesting. And I also really liked the fight scenes we had with Lady Vic and Barbara in this one, both in the museum in the flashbacks and in the present day when, she's in the chair now, but she still held her own against Lady Vic. She still was just as capable, she could still do just as much stuff. I thought that was really cool, and a nice, again, the contrasts between the flashbacks with like Dick and Barbara's relationship to how it is in present day. I like that one of the constant and consistent things between those two timelines was that Barbara can just hold her own in a fight, and the fact that it was against Lady Vic both times, what we've seen of her in action, that was really fun. I liked that a hell of a lot. A very unique kind of fight as well that we haven't really seen in basically anything, so I really enjoyed what they did with that too. And yes, maybe baby steps in terms of a professional relationship between those two, but I think there's probably a huge leap, in a personal relationship between them. We've seen already, Barbara's admitted like she's always had that weakness, I guess. If anyone was going to talk around to do something, it would be Dick. We saw that a few episodes ago. So I like the contrast that, personally, I think they are a good match, but professionally, there's still a lot to work through there, and like the problems that may cause. I think that will ultimately be, if they do explore this romance properly, I think that will ultimately be maybe what has to keep them apart. Because I don't think the show's just going to stay in Gotham forever. But Commissioner Gordon's kind of needed in Gotham, so I think that will be maybe how they part ways and stuff. But there's no point just guessing how it's going to end before it's even started. It's just enjoy the journey for now. But I can see them setting it up, and I'm intrigued to see what they do with it. But yeah, overall, another really great episode. Very excited to see where they take all these different threads, particularly the ending with Tim and his family and Jason, how that all ties in together. A potential fracture between Jason and Scarecrow now. What's that going to mean? What's that going to hold to Jason's development? Potential redemption, if you think he can be redeemed. Blackfire was a lot of fun. I liked her kind of new addition to this team and how she changes up the dynamic. That was great. I liked the Dick and Barbara stuff a lot. I liked the Dick and Gar interactions, them working out how, it was Lady Vic getting involved in all this with using the sound. I thought that was very clever. And Gar's concern for everyone because he's just the best. So yeah, really great stuff. Looking forward to seeing what's going to be happening next. And just keep my fingers crossed for Rachel at some point soon. Who knows when, but that's kind of exciting to keep us guessing. And yeah, I think that's basically everything for now. Great episode, yet again. Loving this season. And until my next reaction, thanks for watching.